This is the moment where we look and see if it really worked. And by golly gee whiz, willikers, it did. But you know what's not working? I don't have the chat up, so I can't see any of you just yet. But there's a good reason for that, and I'll get to that in just a moment. Hey friends, happy Friday night. I am here in my sewing room, and I am so excited to be sewing with you because I have got a heck of a project for you. I'm literally stalling. Literally stalling. Oh, look at that. There's the chat. Too small for me to read, but it's there. Let me pop this out so we can see what y'all are saying today. All right, let's see. Okay. I'm almost fully organized. It's a miracle. All right, yeah. All right, so few things for you. First off, the reason why I'm a couple minutes late getting started is because I have a pattern for you for free. This is what I'm going to be working on tonight. It is on my website under free patterns. If you go up at the top, I'm going to try to get the link for it and put it into my stream deck. But in the meantime, I have a lovely friend who could go to my website, go to the free patterns, get the link for the PDF and spam it in the chat. Isn't that right, Ian?
Yeah, except my hands are tied at the moment. My hands are a little tied at the moment.
Literally. You want to tell everybody what you're doing behind the scenes while I'm getting this link for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I am currently hand sewing. I know, hand sewing. So I put my quilt sleeves, usually I sew them into the binding, but you still have to hand sew the rest of it on. So I'm doing that right now, and yeah.
So fun.
Oh, love it.
It sounds you sound so excited to do that.
I'm so excited.
And again, I am still literally stalling because I just got the link. I just spammed it, and here's the link for the Sassy Starlet PDF. There we go. Now I should be able to spam the chat with that. Let's see if this works. Boom, boom. Yeah!
There it is.
Whoa! There we go. There we go. All right, friends. So, couple of things before we get sewing tonight. Tomorrow, well, actually, I guess it was today too, is the Road to Virginia Quilt Show. This is a first. It is normally Road to California, but they've decided to do the other side of the country, and they are in Richmond, Virginia. Ian and I will be leaving here bright and early tomorrow morning, and we plan to be there when the doors open at 10 a.m. We'll both have some stickers on us, so if you see us walking around the exhibit hall in Richmond, Virginia, just remember, we don't know you by face, but you might know us by face, or as I've been told, the sound of my laughter. So feel free to stop us, say hi, take a photo with us, give us a hug, chat with us, but most importantly, say, I want my sticker! Because if you don't ask for it, I'm not going to know that you want one. So, Ian, is there any other, one more announcement. I was going to ask you if there are any announcements, so just think through your head if there are any that you want to share before. The next announcement that I have for you is Sunday is the Zoom sew-in for VIP members on my website, as well as YouTube channel holders here. If your name is in green, we'll drop the link for you tomorrow. It'll be spammed through your email if you're a member on the website, or it'll be posted on the community tab if you are a channel holder here. The Zoom will start at 2 p.m. It will go to 6 p.m., but I want to let you know that my friend Mary, she doesn't know she's going to do this yet, thanks. Mary will be running it for the first couple hours. I actually won't be there until 4 o'clock Eastern time, and that's because this Sunday happens to be the 5th Sunday of the month. Ian has vowed to do vintage Sundays on months that have 5 Sundays in them. That 5th Sunday is going to be a vintage Sunday, and he's asked me to come over to his place, bring my featherweight with me, and so we're going to be sewing together on our featherweights on YouTube Live, but the Zoom will be open. I just won't be in Zoom. I'll join you guys when the live stream's over.
Yep.
Any other announcements you want to share before I get started?
Announcement number 1, I have signed up for a Zoom account. Woo woo! So I have my very own Zoom account, and if you are a channel member of my channel, I will be doing quarterly Zooms, not monthly Zooms, but quarterly Zooms. And the first one is happening July 12th, and I'm opening it to everyone as a sampler. So giving everybody a little sample. If they would like to come and join my membership on my YouTube channel, they can. But the first one is free, and then after that, you have to be a channel member.
Yeah. And I do want to, I'm going to put this out there. I haven't made a decision yet, but I just want to be fully transparent with you. With how busy I have been at work, I think keeping up monthly Zooms is going to be difficult for me. So we might need to scale that back to probably every other month. Maybe we can do this. I'm still happy to do the Sunday Zooms if you guys like them. I just might not be able to commit to being there for all of them. I've got a lot of stuff that I need to be able to do. So between Mary and I, we will figure out what we're going to do. We will let you know. We definitely don't want to stop you guys from being able to hang out, but also at the same time, I have to be cognizant that I only get Saturdays and Sundays to do all the other things now. So giving up a Sunday to do a Zoom every single month it's a big commitment when I don't get to work from home anymore. So, all right. I think that's all of the announcement I have. Do you guys want to see the pattern that we're going to be working on? Let's head over to the top camera and I'm going to show you what this looks like. I'm really excited. So this is the quilt that we're going to make tonight, and it's a small quilt. It's going to be 12 inches by 12 inches. However, let me just tell you that as long as you know, well, I guess you could scale this up or scale it down, but I'm not doing the math for you if you do. Just keep that in mind. The reason why I'm making this quilt is because at my desk at work, I have a small partition that's probably about 12 inches high that goes around my desk. And I don't really have any wall space to hang quilts on, and I want to be able to spruce up my space. And I thought, what if I did a series of mini quilts that are about 12 inches or 8.5 by 11, because that's the size of a sheet of paper in the US. What if I did a series of quilts that are about 12 inches? And as I'm doing those 12-inch quilts, it's actually an extra bonus to you because those 12-inch quilts could also just be 12-inch blocks that you put into a quilt. Either you make that one block as many times as you want, or you do each block and then put them together in a sampler, whatever works for you. I don't know how long I will continue this series. I know I'm going to do it tonight, and I'm going to try it a few other Friday nights. They will be blocks that will have instructions, like a project sheet. It will not be a pattern. And let me show you what I mean by that. When you're looking at the PDF, you're going to get probably 1 to 3 pages at the most. And it's not going to have written out verbal step-by-steps. It's just going to be illustrations. So there will be some thought required. The first page is going to show you what it is. It's going to show you what your fabric requirements are and then what your cutting instructions are. So when you look at each one of these squares, it'll tell you underneath it what that fabric name is and how many you need in parentheses with the size. And then the second page is going to give you the assembly instructions. And so you can see I'm just telling you you need to make these half square triangle units, and then you're going to put everything into the quilt. But all the units they're represented here. I think going forward, I might actually label them so you can see where fabric A is, fabric B, just to put the labels on here so you can get a better idea of how this lays out. But by and large, you're going to have some level of understanding of how to put something together in order to work with one of these project sheets. So that's what I've got tonight. That's what I am working on. Let me show you the fabric that I'm going to use for tonight. So I am still in the world of I love Tula Pink True Colors 2025. And so I'm going to work with that. I have the fat quarter bundle opened and I'm going to use fat quarters from that. I've pulled a fat quarter for 4 different colors and then a fat quarter for a background. And I think this is going to be more than I need, but this is what I have. I'm using the Argyle print, which I think will read as a solid. Pat says, as a reminder, Art East Quilt Co. has a scaling quilt sheet on their website. Did you just poke yourself?
I did.
Oh, yeah, that happens to me too. Okay, so I'm just flipping through these. So if you guys want to take the pattern or whatever, you could go check out John's website and see if that can scale it for you. And this is going to be my background, which you can't see, but it's tone on tone. There's owls on this, but I'm going to cut it up really small, so I'm not going to be able to see the owl in the quilt. I have already pressed and starched all of my fabric, and so I'm going to get to cutting according to what the pattern says. And remember, this is a free PDF over on my website, so I'm not going to be shy about telling you what my sizes are, how I'm cutting, any of that stuff. I'm just going to get to working on this, and I hope I'll get it pieced before the end of the live stream. My purple fabric is going to be the center. I'm going to only need a small piece of this, so a fat quarter for this cut is definitely more than you need, because all I need from this is a 2.5-inch square. So I'm going to turn this around. Lori says, do not bleed on your quilt.
I know.
Lady Donna says that you're back and you've already injured yourself.
Yep. That's what happens when I work with hand sewing. I always end up poking myself somehow.
Mary says you need her help.
I do. I do.
Yeah, Sean from The Guy Who Sews will be at Road to Virginia as well.
Oh, cool.
Yep. He's asking if anybody else is planning to go.
You know, somebody says you sound like an owl.
I sound, hoo-hoo, hoo! Barbara says, hi, Becca and Ian. I'm so glad you're back. Well, I will have live streams where he's not always here, but we're going to Road to Virginia tomorrow morning, and so it just kind of made sense. I will let you know in advance that next week's going to be a little chaotic for those that don't like multiple voices on the live stream. Mary's here, Ian's going to be here because it's a holiday weekend, and I'll be here, and so all three of us will be on a live stream together. All right, the next fabrics that I'm going to cut are from my background print. I'm going to leave these lay out nice and flat while I'm waiting to cut them because I don't want to have to re-iron. And from this, I'm going to cut 4 2.5-inch squares, 4 1.5-inch squares, and then 18, yeah, that's right, 18 3.5 by 3.5-inch squares. So I'm going to start with my 2.5-inch strip because out of that 2.5-inch strip, I should be able to get my 1.5 and 2.5-inch pieces.
Oh, Miss Brown will be at Road to Virginia.
Carmen says she went to the show Thursday and plans to go again tomorrow.
Sweet.
Awesome. I hope we see a lot of you there. I think we're planning to be there all day, like 10 to 4, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Bill says, yay for Mary being in Virginia. Hello, Yvonne from Tennessee.
Hello.
Ian, did you tell them what you're hand sewing?
You know what? I could probably show them.
Yeah, come on over. Let me go to the face cam.
Let me put the needle in a safe place so that I don't poke myself.
Because I would.
Ooh.
Don't mind the unfinished quilt hanging behind me.
Can they see that? I can't see.
Yes, they can see.
Okay,
They can see. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Should have said something.
This is my Red Queen's Rose Garden. And it's got the Red Queen up in the top corner, and then Alice is down in the bottom corner. And then the Cheshire Cat is also hiding out in the quilt as well. So I'm putting the quilt sleeve on this one.
Yay! And that's going off to North Texas?
Yep, it's going to be at the North Texas Quilt Festival. So if you're in North Texas or will be there, you will get to see this in person.
Celia George says, first time in chat, watching from Xenia, Ohio.
Hello.
Hello, hello. All right, I've got my 4 squares. four square. Four square and 7 years ago.
Did you ever use Foursquare when it was a thing?
No, I don't think so, but I used to play Foursquare when I was in elementary school. Did you ever play Foursquare?
Yeah, I did that, but there was an app where you could check into places, and it was called Foursquare.
Sean says he loves the primary colors and how they all work together in that quilt. Whoa!
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Sorry, everyone.
Whoa! Hello, Christine from West Virginia. Becky Stroop is in Wilmington, Ohio, and says Xenia isn't too far from her. Oh, that's the other announcement that we have that happened this week.
The wah, wah.
So for those of you that haven't already signed up for the cruise, then you didn't get the email. But I want to let you know that there was a wah wah with the cruise. So Celebrity, the cruise ship that we are going to be on, Celebrity, we were going to be on Celebrity Solstice, and they let our travel advisors know that the ship was going to go in for some updates. I guess they call that dry dock. It was going to go in for some updates. And they just found out, apparently this week, that when the ship comes out of dry dock, the conference room, the meeting room that we were going to use to do our quilt retreat will no longer exist. Well, we're still doing a cruise to Alaska, but unfortunately, in order to make it a quilting cruise, we have to use the only other ship that Celebrity is using right now that has a meeting room going to Alaska, and that is the Celebrity Edge, which is the premium luxury top of the line ship.
I don't think this is an unfortunate thing, to be honest, because looking at the ship, it looks kind of amazing. So it's an upgrade.
It is, but if you had already signed up for the cruise, you are grandfathered onto the more expensive ship at the prior ship price. If you have not already signed up, then you're going to the fee went up, unfortunately. And there was nothing that we could do about that. Our hands were kind of tied. So if you have signed up, please make sure to check your email. I have also updated the website, my website, to show all of the updates, give you a ship tour, all of the different things. So make sure you check out my Alaska 2026 page on my website. And if you are already registered, please make sure to check your email.
I'm kind of excited because the upgraded rooms have like this indoor-outdoor effect because like the window opens. So the rooms are a little bit bigger because they would include what would be the veranda. Mm-hmm. And you push a button and the window opens and your room turns into the balcony.
Yep.
And what? So freaking cool.
It is.
It looks really neat. I'm excited.
I am excited. I am also aware that the price has gone up, and so I there's no skirting around that. We can't do anything about it. I am also aware that the port has changed.
Yep.
So we were going to sail out of Vancouver, which we were hoping would be easier for our international friends with everybody that doesn't really want to travel to the US right now. Maybe this would make it a little bit easier for them to go on the cruise. And unfortunately, the only other ship that goes to Alaska is sailing out of Seattle. So our hands are tied there too. We will be sailing out of Seattle.
Does that mean we can go to the Space Needle?
Yeah, it does. We will still stop in Canada, though.
Yeah,
we'll be
we will.
stopping in Victoria, Canada.
You're going to have to hold my hand if we go to the Space Needle.
I don't know if I could go in the Space Needle. I mean, I might. It stays inside, right?
Yeah.
Because I ain't going outside.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can stay inside, but there's an outside portion too.
Nope. Negative.
I've been on the outside portion. It's cool. I like it. Although I haven't gone since they've done the updates to the Space Needle, so.
I'm counting my squares. Sorry. That's 10, 11, 12. I need 6 more. Oh, my nose itches.
Huh? Zaza, do they have that funny in a room balcony?
Oh, maybe they meant funny in room, like the infinite.
Funny in room. Oh, yeah. Okay,
Infinite
okay.
veranda.
Yeah.
Karen says, I'll go and mother will hold your hand.
Okay, sounds good.
I and my mother will hold your hand.
Sounds good. Love it.
Even better. Great. I'll wait on the ground where it's safe.
I did go to Pike's Marketplace. I loved it. It was
I've never
wonderful.
been to Seattle, so I'm really excited about that. Hello, Shelly. I'm really excited to check. Although I got to be honest, I was excited to go to Vancouver
I know,
too.
I was too. I was excited I was going to be able to use my global entry for the first time.
Wah wah.
But it's an updated chip, so
It'll be all right.
Done.
Still a once in a lifetime opportunity. We're still
Yep.
going to make it a blast. We'll just have to work a little bit harder to make it even more worth your money because we're asking you to pony out a bit more. The pattern, if you guys want it, is now linked in the chat. I will link it in the description box of the video after the live stream is over. Exclamation pattern won't work unless Mary wants to update that for me. Becca, Ian can catch us up at the quilt shop.
What the heck?
Yeah, that's right. I ain't going. Bill, we're staying down. We're staying on the ground. All right, so there's all of that. This is my leftover piece from the background fat quarter. Now I'm going to cut my green fabric, which is going to be fabric E. I'm trying to follow the same colors that are in the pattern illustration. And from this, I need 4 3.5 by 3.5 inch pieces. So not the full fat quarter. Definitely will have a lot here to play with.
My stitches keep getting longer and longer as I get more and more tired.
They're getting longer and longer.
Yeah. Every time I'm looking at my stitches at the very beginning of this process, and now I'm looking at them now, and they just keep getting longer and longer and longer.
As long as they hold the sleeve onto the back of the quilt, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah. Judy, don't worry. We'll have other opportunities for you. That may not involve a cruise.
Yeah, we're thinking about what our next retreat will look like. We're already plotting out some ideas. And we're thinking maybe alternating it. So 1 year is a cruise, next year is land-based. Don't have anything to tell you solidly yet, but more to come.
Oh no. Oh no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, thank goodness. I thought I had a knot.
Zaza said, don't let Ian go outside on the Space Needle.
I've done it before. I have a picture.
They're all afraid you're going to fall.
I mean, there's a cage and everything.
All right, now I've got the green cut. We're going to go on to the blue, which in my case is really more of a purpley color. I should fix that. Oh, yeah, I see. I see what I did there. Okay. Oh, no, I did the same thing. Okay, nope, I got 4 colors. I was afraid I had a different number of colors in the project sheet. Carolina Brown says, I finally got the Wild West PMQ put together. Not bad for my first one.
Awesome.
Maureen says, land-based, please. I don't do water travel.
Yep. We're working on
Love
it.
Loathingly says, it should be a Disney quilt retreat in California. Never been to California, and I have never been to Disneyland.
Mum's the word. I just totally lost my train of thought.
Is Ian motion sick when revolving around in a circle while in space?
If I could ever go to space, I would love. I was actually going to be an astronaut. That was
Really?
that's what I wanted to be when I grew up, was an astronaut.
I wanted to be a marine biologist. Does that really surprise anyone?
Nope. Sure does not.
Also wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah, we talked about that on the podcast this week.
Yeah, we sure did. We had a lovely podcast talking about feedback and all the positive and negative ways that all the things. Ruth Roberts says, been a long time. Glad I could catch a live. We're glad you're here, Ruth.
We talked about the seagull effect. We talked about the 4-letter sandwich.
That's right.
We talked about a lot of things. So if you didn't download the podcast this week, make sure to go download the podcast through your favorite podcasting app.
All right, and now we just got to cut the pink, and we're going to get started sewing. Is there still a chance, Ian? Have you grown up yet?
Nope. Nope.
Now this one I've got to cut 10 3.5 inches by 3.5 inch pieces. So
Melody.
Savannah said her dream was to be a marine biologist too.
Nice. Melody says, Ian, you can't get across the room without tripping. Are you sure you want to try space?
Hello, Becca and Ian from Canada. Happy to see Ian with you. Looking forward to the featherweight sewing on Sunday.
Hello.
You sound like Mrs. Doubtfire when you do that. Hello, dearie.
Do I need to get the
The
pot lids to put out my
Oh yeah.
my bra?
Yeah.
I confession, I've never seen that movie.
Oh.
I know.
Zaza says, Becca, you would have been a fabulous teacher. Your tutorials are excellent. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so this is going to be 4. Be able to get I'll end up getting 12 out of this, but I only need 10, so I'll have 2 extra.
The guys have also made me promise that I will watch Practical Magic because I haven't watched
You've
that
never
one.
seen that
I've
either?
never seen that either. And the second one
dear.
is coming out. So
There's a second one coming out?
Yeah.
With Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So the guys are like, you need to watch this and you need to watch it now.
Speaking of the guys, do you want to tease out what the next episode of the podcast is going to be?
Sure. Next podcast, which we're actually recording on Sunday, is going to be an all guys episode. We're going to be talking about what it's like to be a male quilter and talk about some just like what it's like to be us and all the things. You'll see some familiar faces as well as some new faces as well. And I'm super excited for that episode to drop. But we'll record it on Sunday.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Now, when I make my half square triangle units, I always cut the square. When I do the 2 at a time method, I always cut my starting square to be a full inch bigger than what I want the half square triangle units to square up to. And the reason I do that is because I find that that is helpful for beginner quilters that are trying to make HSTs. This allows you to sew it together, and then if you're off a little bit, you have plenty of room to square it down. If you are an advanced quilter and you have a different method for doing these, please feel free to follow that. You don't have to do what I'm doing. This is just the way that I prefer to put them together. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to make my HSTs right now. Let's go. It took me a minute to get there. So on the back side of my 3.5 inch squares, and that's going to be my fabric E, my fabric F, and my fabric G. I'm going to do it on the back side of the white because this is a tone on tone. And if I take the time now, because they're all facing the right direction, I already did that. If I take the time now to mark them on the wrong side, then it'll be a whole lot easier for me to know what side is the right side and what side is the wrong side. So I'm going to grab one of the squares. This is fabric D according to my project sheet. And I'm differentiating this as a project sheet instead of a pattern because it is just illustrations, bare bones. It is not step-by-step instructions. It is just whatever I can show you how to do with pictures only, no words.
Meg is asking when the featherweight show is on Sunday. It's going to be this Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern over on my channel, Off Kilter Crafter Ian.
You can do !Ian in the chat to get a link to his channel.
And you can also check my website.
offkiltercrafter.com.
I should record you doing that and have that play.
Every time you drop the link,
right, exactly.
offkiltercrafter.com. Let me give you the link to my website.
It's also where you can find our affiliate, both on our websites, sobecca.com and offkiltocrafterian.com. You can find all of our affiliate links. Don't forget that Amazon Prime Day is coming up
Speaking of Amazon
soon.
Prime, guess what I have been working hard on? An Amazon storefront.
Oh, I was going to be like another marriage to Jeff Bezos.
No, no, no. So I have been, because there's a lot of things on Amazon that I would recommend for quilting that you can get there. You don't have to go to Fat Quarter Shop, and you can get the Prime shipping. So I have started building out a Amazon storefront. I'm still putting the finishing touches on it, but it is there. I think it's like, I want to say like amazon.com/shop/SoBecca or store/SoBecca. The link will be on my website once it's officially rolled out. We'll do a blog post so you guys can see where it's at. But if you bookmark that tab, then anything that I'm recommending that's on Amazon, you'll have affiliate links to them right there on Amazon.
And if you shop during Prime Day,
You'll get some savings.
You'll get some savings. And
That's
be able
right.
to buy more quilty sewy things.
Quilty sewy things. Hello, Kat McGowan. The only bad thing about doing one of these tutorials on a live stream is the painstaking process of seeing me do every single step in real time. But the nice thing about that is you can do it right alongside of me. There's nothing being cut out. There's nothing being edited. You're seeing me do this every step of the way. And the longest part of this is really going to be making the half square triangle units. So I want to speed this up as much as I can. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put my background and my colored fabric right sides together and get them all lined up so I can just take them to the machine and do some chain sewing. The less I have to think when I'm doing a live stream and sewing, the better off I am.
Barbara, Prime Day is July 8th through 11th. So you've got a
That
little
sounds
bit of
about
time
right.
to start putting stuff in your list, cart, basket, everything like that. And then be ready to go 8th through 11th. And then Becky wants to know what pen you're using.
Oh, sure. So this is a Sewline air soluble pen. I love these. I swear by them for my marking. I've got the water soluble and the air soluble pen. The air soluble I use if I just need a temporary mark that's going to last it doesn't need to last more than a few hours. The water soluble, though, I will use if I need the mark to stay there and I'm not going to introduce any moisture to the project until the next step, or I can have the mark go away. So this will stay for a few hours or a couple of days, depending on how much air is moving over the fabric. Free Spirit says, Becca, watching you cut and sew is far better than watching paint dry, so don't worry. Thanks, I think.
That's a compliment. That's a compliment. We also got to give a shout out to Katie. Katie is currently flying at this very moment, and she's watching while she's flying.
Katie.
So hi, Katie. Katie, our Katie.
Oh, Katie with an E?
Yes, that one.
Hello, Katie with an E. Where is she flying to?
Well, she's coming back from Long Beach because she was at a conference. And so she's flying back from Long Beach to Georgia.
Gotcha. Once I've drawn that line from corner to corner on the back side of the fabric and I've paired them all up, I'm just going to do some chain sewing over here. And that means I'm just going to sew from one piece to the next without breaking my thread. And I'm going to try to stay about 1/4 of an inch on either side of that line. So I'm going to sew 1/4 inch on the right side of the drawn line and 1/4 inch on the left side of the drawn line. And then I'll cut it apart on that drawn line to produce 2 units per one of these blacks.
Why does this take forever?
Joan says, hello, Becca and Ian. Sorry I have to watch your replay later, doing my first Zoom retreat Saturday and Sunday and haven't done a Zoom since pandemic nor a retreat. I'm excited.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Well, I'm excited for you too. I hope you have a lot of fun.
Yes, Ekate, the cruise does leave from Seattle and it will return to the port of Seattle. So it is Seattle to Seattle.
It's actually good for Tiffany, though, because the amount of travel, this is going to reduce the amount of time that she'd have to fly.
Yep.
And I know she was really worried about that. I think they might even be considering driving up.
Hi, Jake. Glad you could make the live stream tonight. Hopefully you can make the live stream on Sunday as well. Jake said, I just found you both a few weeks ago, and I'm so glad I could make a live. Thank you for your positive energy and good vibes.
Hello, Jake. If you want to get the link to Ian's channel, exclamation Ian in the chat, will drop that for you.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Free Spirit says, Ruby is humming tonight. She sounds good.
I should probably oil.
She's happy
Sylvia.
that I'm actually sewing on her because I haven't sewn on her since last Friday. Or maybe Sunday.
Hey, Lynn. Glad to have you here. Sorry that you can't sleep, but glad to have you here. I had that problem earlier in the week. I couldn't get to sleep.
Kathleen says, is it hard to fly with sewing supplies and machines? No, I don't think so. However, I would tell you just make sure that your sewing machine, if you can, I would bring a smaller one so that, like, if you're flying with it, so it can go in your overhead. But if you're going to be on the cruise, we will be providing sewing machines for you.
Yep. You don't even have to worry about bringing a sewing machine. Yep. It will be provided for you, and everybody gets their own machine.
Yep.
But no, I haven't had a problem. So I was about to say sewing with flying materials. No, I haven't had a problem. You just got to pay attention to your scissors. They have to be under 4 inches.
Yep. Or checked.
Yeah.
I've sewn with like little snips and small scissors, and I've never had a problem. But anything big like dress shears or whatever, I would put in your checked luggage.
Yep. You can also put an air tag into your checked luggage, by the way. So if you're worried about your luggage getting lost, you can put an air tag in it. Hot tip of the day. You're welcome. I'm excited we get to see Leo tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Susan says that she may just drive up to Seattle and wave at us, bon voyage.
Have a going away party.
Right. Bye, so Becca. See you later.
See you later.
Bon voyage. Yeah, that's a good tip, Zaza. Don't take your precious scissors. If you have an heirloom pair of scissors, don't take those.
Leave them home.
Leave them at home.
Only take the scissors that you would only be mildly disappointed if they threw away. Or got damaged. Or got lost.
You know, when I flew through Denver, I think that was the most efficient security checkpoint I've ever been through.
Why do you say that?
It was fast. I didn't feel like I was getting rushed. I didn't feel like they were yelling at me to put everything, put it in a bin, put it in a bin, put it in a bin. It was like just, and it was so quick. It was over before I knew it. So I think Denver's got it down.
Good.
Karen says, back in 1991, I was flying to San Jose, and the TSA agent was very confused when my sewing machine went through the x-ray machine. An older agent identified it and let it through. Pat says she might have to put an air tag on her. Georgine, you could buy air tags either through Apple or
Amazon.
Amazon.
I'll put that on my Amazon storefront.
There you go. Becca will put it on her Amazon storefront, and they might even have a deal for it during Prime Days.
Yeah.
They usually put air tags on sale during Prime, if I remember correctly. But do remember, they only work with Apple devices, so if you have an Android phone, it won't work.
Ever since you said San Jose, I've been sitting over here going, I know the way to San Jose. Thanks, Ian.
You're welcome. Well, you can thank Karen as well. Judy, this was my first time going through Denver. Well, I've been through Denver before, but only as a layover. I didn't have to go through security. And I was honestly worried about security here at Denver, because the lines can sometimes get really, really long. But it was perfect. Did not take long at all.
All right, so the next step that I'm going to take is to cut all of these apart. I like to do everything in batches. Just kind of keeps me a little bit more organized while I'm doing these live streams. So I should have 18 when this is all done because I've got 14 sets. I'm sorry. I should have 36 when this is all done. Yeah, I think I need 36 total half square triangle units because I've got 18 sets here that I'm cutting into two.
The ADHD is strong today.
I found a reel that I sent to Ian the other day. It was so funny. It was like, it had the word autism, and you saw like they had put all of these little obstacles on the floor, bottles and things, and you could walk around it if you paid attention to your surroundings. And so it said autism, and a cat came in and very gracefully navigated its way through. And then the next one said neurodivergent, and it had, what was that?
It was a dog.
It was a dachshund, or no, a corgi. It was a
Yeah.
corgi.
Yeah.
And so the corgi went through and didn't knock a single thing over. And the other one said ADHD, and a dog came through just like it was spiraling and knocked everything over. I was like, oh, the third one's me.
I was like,
Third one's me.
it's like true, facts. Laura is asking if I'm able to sign up for the cruise. Should I sign my hubby up for it? Also, just in case I can talk him into the sewing. So that's the cool thing about the cruise is you can both sign up for the cruise. You can both go on the cruise. And then, Laura, you can do the sewing part while he goes and hangs out with the other spouses because
Or just enjoys himself.
Or just enjoys himself. There is already talk of the spouse. One of the husbands has already posted in the Facebook group. Yes, there's a Facebook group for this as well, about hanging out with the other guys or gals who are coming along. So you can absolutely bring him, and he can hang out with the others, or hang out on the ship, or do whatever he wants to do while you're hanging out with us.
So the sewing will be available to you anytime you're on the ship, I believe. But the classes, the workshop that we're doing, will only be on at-sea days. So that will give you plenty of time, if you choose, when we get to the different ports of call to get off and explore. So there will be a lot of time baked into the agenda to spend with each other or your loved ones. So feel free to travel. I'll tell you, my sister is, I think she said today, she's 75% that she and her husband are coming.
Ooh.
Alicia, my youngest sister Alicia, is highly thinking about coming, and she does not sew. She just thinks it would be really cool to hang out with all of you. So she won't be buying the retreat pass, but she and Josh are highly contemplating getting a cabin on the ship.
Cool. Hi, John.
Hey, John.
I love John's the birds quilt.
Oh, where did the thing go?
oh,
Where's that pattern? The book. Where did it go?
I don't know.
Whenever I do this, I always feel like a Muppet when I'm like, I know where it is. Jonathan. Can I call you Jonathan? I don't even know. Oh, is it in here? It is. I found it. John, I got to show you. Hold on. But wait, there's more. So when I did the Michigan shop hop, I walked into a modern shop and I was looking around for something to buy. Couldn't find anything right off the bat. So I went to the front of the store and I was looking through patterns. They had a whole bunch of patterns that were on sale. And they had a bunch of bins, so I was going through them, and I kept seeing some of your patterns in there. I was like, oh, I know him. So I started pulling them all out. I was going to buy all of them. And then I was like, okay, this is crazy. I don't need to buy all of the patterns just because I know it's John, right?
I know him.
Wait, Santa, I know him. But then, so I put them back. And I started walking around and I went to the notions wall and I found a needle minder that I wanted to get because I like to collect needle minders and enamel pins. And next to it was one copy, their last copy of this. I'm so excited. This book is so great and I cannot wait. Like I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's now mine. They are sold out and I'm just happy to have it for the patterns for the individual blocks. So I don't know if this is a new pattern, an old pattern or whatever, but I got to tell you, I am excited to have that book. And when I bought it, they had a couple of sample blocks that they had made from that pattern hanging up on the wall. And when I bought it, they were like, oh, well, I guess we can take our blocks home now. Oh, the one lady was like, she was like, I guess I can finish my quilt. All right. I am ready. We're going to go back to this one. I'm ready to square these up. Now, there's a couple of ways that I can square up my half square triangle units. The one way that you're probably familiar with is I can open it up, I can press it open, and then I can use my ruler to square it up. And the way that would work is I'm going to take a square ruler that has at least the size I want to trim to on it and a 45-degree line. After I've pressed it, I'm going to put that 45-degree line right on that line where the two fabrics meet. I'm going to make sure I have fabric extending or touching the spot where I'm going to trim that up. I'm going to cut up the right side, up across the top, turn it around, and do the same thing. But I have been doing a different way. So what I do is I leave them closed and I press them later. I'm going to get the 45-degree line and I'm going to put it on top of my stitching line. And I'm going to make sure that the size that I want to square to hits right at the edge here and right down at the bottom or goes beyond. If it goes beyond, that just means I'm going to have to cut the other side too. I cut my starting squares a full inch bigger than what needs to be squared up so that there's plenty of room if you're a beginner. So I already know I still have to make 4 cuts. I just feel like this is a little less finicky for me. So now once I flipped it around, I'm going to put the 2 fresh cut edges right against the spot that I'm trimming up to. And since I'm trimming these up to 2.5 inches, oh wait, no, the green ones I am trimming up to 1.5 inches. There's a typo in the pattern.
Oops.
But you're going to cut more fabric than you need. Just FYI. I'll fix it. 1.5 by 1.5. These are smaller. Look at all that extra. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to get all my greens out because those are going to square to 1.5. And I'm going to get that done first. I'm going to have 8 of them all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where's the 8th? Ah, here it is. And then that'll let me put together the center of the block. So yeah, this actually works out well. I know the way to San Jose. So small, I know.
Kathy, irons will not be allowed on the cruise.
That's right.
Well, you can't bring yours on. However, the guys are going to have them provided for you. So
Yep.
there will be irons, but you are not allowed to bring one on.
It's the rules of the cruise ship. But if you have a seam roller that lets you press your seams, you can do that.
Works too.
They're asking, how do air tags work? Do you want to explain the science behind the air tag?
Sure, I'm happy to explain that. AirTags use Bluetooth technology to connect to other Apple and Android devices, and then when it connects to that device, it is anonymized, so it doesn't send your data or anything. It just tells the AirTag the location that it is near the phone. And then that is reported back to Apple's network. And so basically it uses the networks of Apple devices around it to determine its location. Again, all anonymity. I can't say that word.
It just sends the coordinates. It doesn't send anything else.
Right. It doesn't send names. It doesn't send personal data, stuff like that. It just tells Apple where it is located. And then that reports back to your device and your account and says, hey, I know that this Apple device or this AirTag is located here or somewhere around in this area.
So Ian, when he was moving from Dallas to the DC area, had a tracker, an Apple AirTag.
Several.
Yeah, but one of them was in your car.
It
and
was.
so you were tracking them as they were driving cross country with your car.
Yep. I had some in boxes and I had one in my car so I could see exactly where all of my boxes were and I could see exactly where my car was and I could see all the things as they were traveling because I was not about to take any chances.
When you were planning to move here, you had a quilt that was hung at a show in Maine.
Yep.
And when it was returned, you had your friend, I think it was Rachel Nelson actually.
It
you
was.
had it sent here.
Yep.
And so I went and picked it up from the P.O. box and I left it in my car for about 2 weeks. I didn't know, but he was like, hey, are you driving around with my quilt? I was like, oh yeah, I'll bring it in now.
Yep. Yep. Also, when I was in Disneyland, I got a notification on my phone that an AirTag was following me. And it freaked me out for a moment until I realized that it must have been on somebody else, and we just happened to be in the same areas at the same time. And so it thought it was following me, but it was Disney, so of course, everybody's going to be going on rides and in small spaces at the same time. So it thought it was tracking me, but it was like, no, it must be on someone else's purse or keychain or something.
So when I'm working with small pieces, a couple of things that I will highly recommend for you, and I actually think John recommends this too. I've seen him talk about it. The Acorn Easy Press Pen is your best friend, and pressing my seams open is your second best friend. And then before I cut, I starch the heck out of the fabric so that it doesn't have a lot, it has a bit more body to it. So I'm going to finger press all of these seams open. Then I'm going to draw a line of that starch on my fabric and I'll take it over and give it a press. And I might even let them cool underneath the clapper. That's just going to get this really, really flat. It's probably not needed for something with this little of bulk, it's a muscle memory thing for me when I'm working with small pieces, so I do it.
Kathy, there are several people in the chat who have signed up for the cruise, and we would love to have you.
Absolutely.
Love to have you on the cruise.
I'm excited.
Me too.
I am also excited about Road to Virginia tomorrow.
Me too.
And I do plan to bring some hand embroidery so that I can just sit and do a little stitching when I'm tired of walking around and looking at the quilts.
Yeah, I have an AirTag in my carry-on, my checked luggage, my backpack, my car.
He may have bought stock in AirTags.
Right. I also have one in every quilt that goes to any show.
John said he puts that on. I put that beep on everything. Glad to know I'm not the only one. I started using this with foundation paper piecing, and it kind of became muscle memory because some of those seams are really bulky, and it was the only way I could get them to be anywhere near flat. So highly recommend.
Yeah.
9 o'clock, door's locked.
It gets me every time.
I know. Woo! Hot! Hot!
That
Who would have thought fabric coming out of the iron was hot?
go figure.
Where do you put it in the quilt?
I put it behind the label. I put it behind the label because I do corner labels, and so it forms a natural pocket doing the corner labels. And it's nice to have a little reassurance. I watched my quilts that are currently in Texas at the Circle Theater while they were traveling, and it just gave me that little bit of reassurance.
So Ian sent me a link for the Virginia State Fair. I don't know if Sean is still in the chat. The quilt show is open for registration. Are you going to enter some quilts?
I am.
Awesome. You thinking about which categories you're going to try for?
Yeah, I am. I definitely am going to enter the regular quilt category, but I'm also trying to see if there might be a doll quilt that I can either put together
Oh,
or...
the gauntlet has been thrown, Sean.
Yep. I'm going to go head to head with you two and see what happens.
The gauntlet has been thrown. All right. Now that all of these are pressed nice and super flat, she's super flat, she's super flat now. Don't ask. We're going to put this piece in the middle. We're going to bring these small white squares and we're going to start building out a sawtooth star. We're going to use our half square triangle units to make flying geese-like units. So I'm just going to show you how this will look.
Poor Sherry, autocorrect got the best of her. She says, my daughter has an airbag on her dog's collar. She meant AirTag.
Oh.
Sherry, she came back and said, I hate autocorrect. I get it, Sherry. I totally get it.
So before I do anything else, I'm going to make my flying geese units. So I'm going to be really careful with this. I want to make sure that my raw edges are really nice and lined up. Everything is put together nicely. And I actually am going to sew with just a scant of 1/4 inch because the pieces are so small.
Kathy says she's thinking about entering her county fair, local fair. You should definitely do it, Kathy. Don't think about it. Just do it. Be like the Nike slogan. Just do it. Joyce says she's late because she thought it was Thursday. Hey, at least it's better.
Wow.
It's better finding out today's Friday
I would
than
rather be on a Friday and think it's Thursday
yeah,
than to be on a Thursday thinking it's
exactly,
Friday.
exactly. John and Kelly say, in all fairness, some dogs do need airbags.
I was thinking that. All right, these seams I'm going to press open as well. I'm just going to move these out of the way. And I'm going to use the Acorn Easy Press pen on this one too.
Oh no, Sammy, that sucks.
What happened?
She says that her daughter's checked luggage went missing and it included a quilt and other things. So
Aw.
that's some airlines are starting to. You can act like if your bag goes missing and you have an air tag in it, you can actually share that information with the airline and they're able to track it using the air tag as well. So
Oh, wow.
air tags are really becoming a helpful tool, and I highly recommend them for anybody traveling or if you're shipping anything of immense value, whether it's monetary value or sentimental value. Use an air tag, even if you put a postage envelope in that box, so that way the person receiving it can just drop that air tag back in the mail to you.
Sherry says these colors remind her of Buzz Lightyear. I can see that.
I can see that, yeah. Yeah, I like that actually. Thank you so much, Chris. You're so kind. I got that song stuck in my head. Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, I'm still on Super Freak.
Super Freak Buzz Lightyear.
Ooh, this one's not fully dry. Look how flat these are, right? Like, just so flat.
Are they flat like a pancake?
We press, oh my gosh, and those points. Can we just zoom in on that point? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Where can you buy the Easy Press Acorn Pen?
I know they have them on Amazon because it's on my Amazon storefront, but if you want to support a small business, I think John has them on his website. Art East Quilting. Go check it out. I just paid attention. Could you see an air tag in the quilt under the label?
No, you can't. It actually is not visible on the front side of the air tag. You can't see the air tag from the front side of the quilt. There you go. Got it right that time. No, it is not visible and makes no noticeable difference in anything.
John said, careful, you'll poke someone's eye out with those points. That was good. That was good. Don't worry, I'm about to chop them all off. Yeah, I chopped that one off and we're going to rip it because I did such a good job. I want my point back, dang it. Give me my point.
I was scrolling through Instagram and I heard a new phrase because, we jump on Teams or Zoom meetings a lot for work.
Uh-huh.
And I always hate, oh, can you see my screen? Like, everybody able to see my screen? And so somebody was asking, how can you ask that question in a new and creative way? It's, somebody came back and said, is this a video or a podcast?
Funny. What about... Oh, sorry. Didn't want you to see that.
Oh, no. Am I presenting or podcasting? That's what it was. Am I presenting or podcasting? I am going to use that at work now.
I had a dream, Ian, that we traded my husband's car in for a Mach-E. Was that a good dream or a bad dream?
I mean, I feel like that's going to happen any day now. I feel like you're going to call me up and be like, guess what I came home to?
Don't worry, I'll drive it to QuiltCon and I'll pick Sean. I'll pick Josh up on the way.
There you go.
I couldn't get it out.
Pick Josh up and
He won't get in the car.
he'll be like, thanks for stopping by. See ya.
I'm walking. Goodbye. Hey, Leanne, how are you?
Kathleen is asking, have you done the seed packet mini quilts yet?
Ha! Ha! Look what I bought! I only bought these two. I have not done them yet, but they are there. How did the live stream start with me singing, I'm on my way to San Jose, and then ending with, super freak, super freak? What even is my life?
Oh my gosh, I'm about to knock stuff over here.
I do it all the time, it's fine.
I'm trying to put my phone on the phone stand over here and it's trying to fall over.
Hello, Sandra from Crowley. Crowley, Texas. No less.
Oh, the one from QuiltCon, Zaza. The Mach-E. The Mach-E Mustang.
I see Mary in the chat. I'm not ignoring her. She said she needs those seed packets. They're right up her alley.
They are.
They are.
They are up her alley.
Maybe you can get some during the Mid-Atlantic Shop Hop.
Mm.
No, dog nabbit. No. Perfect point. I want a perfect point.
Perfect,
Give it to me.
perfect.
We nest our seams. Nest. Leg.
Give me my leg.
Oh yeah? My face is flushing.
Fervent as a flame.
Yeah.
Super freak
Loathing.
and on the way to San Jose.
Unadulterated loathing.
All over the place. I can't wait for that movie. It's going to be so good.
They were doing the musical up in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I want to go. Let's go. You guys will never see me do this any other time. I'm literally sitting here lining everything up and pinning it.
I like flat seams and I cannot lie.
You other quilters can't deny. When a clapper comes out, makes it flat, you're impressed and give it a blue star. I don't know. I got nothing.
Laura wants to know, how big does your caterpillar mat expand to?
Ah! Sorry. I have to rip the seam again. 48 by 60.
There you go.
Does anybody else ever yell when their seams aren't right? No, just me? Okay.
I mean, I've been known to yell at some fabric.
But the problem is it's perfect on the other side. So, like, I don't want to, and now I'm ripping this so much that the previous seam doesn't want to stay. So we're going to have to reinforce that. Listen, we're going to backstitch you, okay? All right,
Jonathan,
Felicia?
we are going to be doing some mid-Atlantic shop hopping. What happened? Are you out of bobbin? Oh.
Yes.
You out of boobin?
I'm out of boobin.
You're out of boobin.
Where's my other boobins?
I don't know where your boobins are.
There they are. I've got a pile of empty ones right here.
Uh-oh. Show that boobin who's boss.
You know, this is the channel where I make up all the words. Boobin, Burbina.
Yep.
When is your mom coming back, Becca? She's talking about the end of July, possibly. Although today she just told me don't count on it, so I don't know.
I don't yell. For lettering, yes. Josh, you're funny. He's like, I don't yell, but I do 4-letter. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Go forward. Give me my leg. Okay. Loathing.
Wait, Meta Knight, who are we having a birthday party for?
That is Leanne, by the way.
Oh, hi, Leanne. I couldn't remember her name.
That's okay. She was my table mate in Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And is a 4-letter word, Leanne. You were correct. As I'm over here struggling to thread the needle again.
Struggle, boss. If I sew this a third time and that point is not perfect, I'm leaving it.
There you go.
Because I cannot be bothered to rip this apart a third time, fourth time, whatever.
John says, there should be a content warning before you show bare boobin on cam. Good one, John. Did it work?
Stilettos work wonders for holding that fabric absolutely perfect so it doesn't fudge. Yes. Now I know why people use them, because I used to use the point of my seam ripper to do that. Look, it's perfect. Oh my God, Chris, I love it. I know, it's my dream. I think I live in a world that is narrated by sounds on TikTok and Instagram. Anybody else have that feeling?
See, Skipper, there will be a shop hop of some kind. We're still working on the details.
Yep. Susan has a birthday. Happy birthday, Susan. Susan. I'm going to pin this in the seam, right in the seam. Pin it right in the seam. Oh, that could be the honeymooners. One of these days, Alice. Pow! Straight to the moon. Although I always say right in the kisser, and I... So I'm never sure if I'm saying it the right way or the wrong way when I say it.
I think that was like a Mandela effect or something like that at one point.
What's a Mandela effect?
It's the it's a collective memory that's not true.
Oh.
That everybody has, but they're like, no, that definitely happened, and it's like, no, that never did. Somebody's gonna know an example. What was his name? Mason Mandela?
Nelson Mandela?
Nelson Mandela. Everybody thinks he passed away in a prison, but he did not. everybody's collective memory is that he passed away in prison, but that is not actually what actually happened. I know somebody's going to come back in the chat and be like,
Yes,
"Oh
he
yeah,
did.
no." They're going to come up with one because there's several common ones, and I can't think of the other ones at the moment.
Would a collective memory be like how we all remember that you fall all the time?
No, because that actually happens. It's like the spelling of the Berenstain Bears. Like, people think it's spelled one way, but it's actually spelled a different way.
Bobby Miller keeps her stiletto right by her machine. Do you sew in your stilettos? I'm just curious. A wrong stiletto? Got it.
Yeah, wrong stiletto.
All right.
I knew y'all would know that one.
I'm going to square these up now. The second colors. This will be what I'm using for the blue. Here's my cute little star block. And these are going to be squared to 2, and everything else at this point squares to 2.5 inches. So,
Oh, that's right, John. That is one of them. Another example is Luke, I am your father. That is not actually said in Star Wars.
what?
Yeah, that's not the line.
What is the line?
It's not that. I don't remember what it is, but it's not Luke, I am your father. Luke, I'm your daddy.
Oh my gosh! And welcome to After Dark.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh. I don't know.
jeez. How many people just spit their drink out? Just
Right.
curious. Oh no. I trimmed this up to 2 inches. I
Were you
needed
not
to trim
supposed
it to 2.5. That's okay. I have extra here. Can make an extra one really quick. Because once you cut it, there's no going back.
Oh, the line is no, I am your father. And Joshua has one of, anybody else remember Becca taking parking lots and roadways super slowly in a Mustang?
Okay, Josh. I got nothing. I was going to say, yeah, I was thinking about how I drive down the garage at work because the ramp's really tight.
Oh,
And I was like, yeah, I drive down that really slow. And it took me a whole minute because all I heard was ramps. And I
Oh.
was like, how does he know how I drive at work? And then I heard the last part and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
no, he
Yeah.
was making fun of me.
He
Got
is.
it.
He is. He is
Okay.
making fun of you.
I see you,
He
Joshua.
is making fun of you.
Loathing. And we're back to the beginning. Unadulterated loathing.
No, Bill, it's the Mandela effect, which comes from Nelson Mandela. Becca has no words.
Becca
I know,
has no
right?
words. She knows me well. What?
What? Huh?
All right. I have an extra one now in case I mess up again.
There you go.
All right, 2.5. I love it all.
What? What? From the Finger Lakes.
Oh, come on, mother lover. Okay, try it again. It would help if I would pay attention to the measurement on the ruler.
I mean,
Glad I have that extra one. There. Finally got one the right size. But he never said Judy, Judy. I'm Janice. I'm Nora. I'm Marsha. And I'm Janice. How many times do we do that at the lake?
All the time. All the time.
And I'm Janice.
Not just at the lake, like everywhere. Probably do it 10 times tomorrow.
Oh, can I take my hands with me?
Sure.
That'll be great. I'm just going to do lots of little videos of the hands petting fabric. I'm Marsha.
Oh, Lord, John. Don't start that one up.
Uh-oh, what one?
This
Oh,
is the song
that
doesn't
doesn't
end.
end. It goes on and on, my friend.
Oh, Lord.
Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was.
I blame you,
and
John.
they'll forever singing it forever just because this
Or
is
Kelly,
the song
whichever
that
one you are.
doesn't end.
John or Kelly, whichever one you are. I blame you.
It goes on and on again. Carolina says, no! I love you.
Oh, Lord.
You love me.
Oh, we're just going through all of them tonight. Okay, cool.
I almost slipped into the one that, the parody of that. Let's
Oh,
sneak
yeah.
up and...
Yeah. Yep.
I'm glad I didn't.
Yep. Me too. Me too. I am as well.
Hey, stupid!
Oh, shoot.
They never let you play games. Hey, stupid! Wait. Oh, Barbara says, Becca, why is your cutting board upside down? Because it is. I'm not using it to measure. And both sides work for a cutting surface. And it's the foldable one. So it's all folded up right now.
Yep. Yes, I did, Tina. My jelly roll race is actually went home with Tisha when she came to visit. Okay. Yay, I finished.
Yay, all done. Do a lap.
I still need to put the air tag in this one, but that will be another night.
Did you both finish the jelly roll race that you were making? I know you already answered that. No, I did not. I have the body of it done. I need to put borders on it and quilt it at some point in my spare time that I never seem to have. Hello, Heather. I'm going to press these seams open too, so I'm going to do this first with my finger and then the iron.
We press our seams.
Oh,
press
Barbara says, that's great. I didn't know the cutting mat would work on both sides.
It does.
It does.
It does.
It's the same material on the top and the bottom. Hello, Katie. Katie from Greenland is here.
Hello, Katie from... Oh, Katie, I'll get you back an email. Sorry. I owe you an email. My bad. I literally just remembered this second. I read it. I just didn't reply to it.
Dr. Charkin says, well, I just wasted a half an hour looking for my fiber fill. I found 2 brand new bags, but knew I had one open. Yep, found it. Right on top of my cutting table. Isn't that how it always works?
It's always how it works.
Katie says, I didn't say anything. She's letting you know that she wasn't badgering you.
I know. I just, like, as soon as you said her name, it popped into my head. I was like, oh, right, email. Totally forgot.
Don't forget, guys, if you have a channel, you want to promote it, exclamation selfie in the chat. We'll have the bot drop a link to your channel. Go ahead and do that now.
Or exclamation Ian if you want to promote me.
Or both. That was great. I love that. Way to not let them promote themselves, Ian.
Right.
Gosh. Katie did it.
I know, I see.
Love Katie.
She did herself and then she did me.
Don't forget the pattern that I'm working from is a free project sheet on my website. And I just dropped the link in the chat as well. Tammy says, I have been wanting to do a YouTube channel, but I am so scared. Just do it.
Oh, Lisa, I feel your pain. Good luck on that strip that never ends.
The jelly roll race?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to turn these into flying geese just like we did before. And I'm going to make 4 of them. So I'm just going to lay them out in sets of 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you could hear me.
What are we munching on? He's eating my Reese's Pieces.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
I saw him go over there. I was like, I want some. But I'm on a mic and I won't chew in their ear.
My
Chomp,
bad.
chomp.
I should have taken it off. My bad, guys.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oops.
They can hear you, but they can't see you.
These mics.
We know the mic's working.
I know the mics are so. They've told me on my channel that they can hear me drinking my drink sometimes, and I'm like,
you
oops.
can. Sorry. I always hear it, but it's not annoying. Like it's not a slurping sound.
Right.
It's kind of. It's like ASMR because it's just a little. It's soft.
Yep.
I don't know. I kind of like it. You can sometimes hear the gulp too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I need to share with everybody else. Okay, let me just Willy Wonka transport these with like Mike TV. Remember Mike TV when he's the platform and the camera, and then it zaps it across the room, and Mike becomes really small. I should. Let me just.
Oh,
zap
I get it. Sorry, I
okay.
wasn't sure where you were going.
Oh, I'm just gonna zap it out to everybody. Everybody just got to reach through their screens, and I'm gonna zap it out to everybody.
Okay, hold out your hand, close your eyes, and wait for a big surprise. How many times have they caught me with this look tonight? That's my, I don't get it. Look. Oh, peanut butter cups. No, Reese's Pieces, not peanut butter cups. Did Zaza just say she gets weird satisfaction listening to her dog crunch eggs?
No, that was Katie from Greenland.
Oh, Katie from Greenland. Somebody said it.
Yep, she gets oddly satisfied by hearing her dog crunch raw eggshells and bones.
Huh.
Tina's asking, question, when you finish the Jelly Roll race, what are the ways that you quilted it? I quilted it with one of my favorite, I think I did abacus on that one because I just like quick and easy for those. So I'll just do a quick little abacus pattern.
Yeah, I'm just going to do an edge-to-edge design.
Yeah.
I just need to put a border on it and it'll be done. I just keep forgetting that it's over there to do it, and I don't have much time to sew, it seems like, anymore. At least I'll get to look at this pretty quilt in my cubicle to remind me of when I have a day off and am able to sew.
Linda says, I love the sound of grapes when it pops. Wait, grapes pop? Am I eating the wrong kind of grapes?
Maybe. All right. Now we're going to put this around my mini piece. And I think this is going to be 4.5. So this should square to 4.5. I'm just going to take the time to make sure. Oh, I'm glad I did.
Ting, 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 ting. Sorry.
All right. That should go right there.
Shelly says, grapes that don't pop are called raisins. Sandra's curious because she says, I see you pressing some of your seams open, but not all, just on the star blocks?
Yeah, I pressed everything open, but this one I pressed, when I put the block together, I just pressed everything towards the middle because there is less bulk there. So when I put these together, there was no bulk in here, so it was actually easier and flatter to press the flying geese units in towards the center. I could have pressed them open, sure, but then I would have had some bulk going back over where these points are. So I'm just trying to make decisions that will help me get flatter blocks. Now this one, I could press this way, but then I'm going to add bulk on these 2 points, or I could press it this way, but then I'm going to get bulk right here. And so for this one, I'll probably press it open. I'll definitely be using the Acorn Easy Press pen for this seam.
Lots of people are saying that they love the sound of Ruby tonight.
Thank you. She's freshly oiled. She appreciates you and all of the compliments, I'm sure. Oh, I left it on the overhand cam. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Now I'm going to take this one and put it on this side. Chris says, I love listening to the sound of Ruby running. The new machines just don't sound the same. I love the way she sounds too. And it's honestly, the sound is what kind of kept me going. I just love the way it sounds. I feel like I could just have a whole hour of a video of just watching me make something with no talking whatsoever and just the sound of Ruby sewing, the rotary cutter, and the iron. Nobody else would watch it, but I would. All right, now I need to put squares on either side of these flying geese.
Chris asked, what were you using on your flying geese before you pressed them?
The Acorn Easy Press Pen. Boom.
Sorry, I could have answered that, but I can't
It's
see
okay.
over the desk.
It's fine. It's a little pen with a marker nib on it, and you put starch in the barrel of it. You apply that starch to the seam. Help get flatter results. It's especially good when you are unable to apply starch or steam to a whole area, but you still want to get that really nice flat seam. Once I've started putting my block together, I don't like to give it more starch until the whole block is pieced. So that's why the Acorn Easy Press Pen comes in, because it lets me apply starch to those seams and get them really nice and flat, especially when I have bulky seams like I do right here. Oh my goodness, this is turning out so cute.
Laura, I'm excited you're going to be joining us on Sunday. And Chris, you can get more information by going to sewbecca.com and clicking on the Alaska tab. And Mary, I think it's exclamation cruise 2026?
Alaska 2026.
Alaska 26.
Exclamation Alaska 2026. Although Mary knows how to make the commands for whatever she likes, so she could totally make it cruise if she wanted to. She has the power. By the way, the reason why I'm pressing these seams... Oh, well, doesn't really matter. I was pressing these out. And again, it's because right here there's going to be a bit of bulk. So I'm going to press over here. But you could press them open if you wanted. There's really no rules. Do whatever works for you. I just like to minimize the amount of bulk whenever possible.
Stephanie, the background is a white tone-on-tone with owls.
It is from the Tula Pink, either Full Moon Forest 2 or True Colors. I'm not sure which. Katie's asking, do you know how you would measure a half triangle to determine what size square it came with or came from? I would just measure whatever it's squared to and add an inch. That will be more than sufficient. But if it's already finished, then you might need to add an inch and a half.
Karen, unfortunately, we will not be stopping in Icy Strait Point anymore. So unfortunately, that is not going to be available for this cruise. But that's okay. I'm okay because I am excited for the upgraded ship, and we're still going to be hitting some really amazing ports. So it's all good.
And there will be other zip lines. It won't be the zip line, but there will be other zip lines. And there will be other opportunities to watch for whales. we'll still be doing all of that on the cruise. It just won't be the zip line that he wanted to
Yeah.
do.
See you later, Constance. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye now.
Tina, we are going to be going live on my channel on Sunday, and I don't know what I'm going to be working on yet, so just
He'll be working on
I'll be doing something.
your Sylvia.
Yep,
That's
I'll be
what you'll
working on Sylvia, but yeah. Kathy, the new ship is called the Edge. It's Celebrity Edge.
Oh, Mary bought the bundle of seed packets. Wait, you will do a zip line?
Sherry, I was hoping to go on one that is at Icy Strait Point, but we're not going to be at that port. But there may be other opportunities, so we'll
Play it
just
by
see.
ear.
Yep.
We are focusing on all the ways that we can bring you a week's worth of fun and excitement and some quilting time too. So figure you guys worked hard for the money to pay for the cruise. We want to make sure it's worth it for you.
Sherry, I'm not really afraid of the Space Needle. I was being silly.
Oh, is that why she was
Yeah.
saying
If you
that?
think it could be serious.
Well, Siri wants to talk to you
Apparently.
about the Space Needle.
Apparently. No, I was being silly. I have no problem on the Space Needle.
I will have problems on the Space Needle. I will not be going on the Space Needle. Wave at you from the ground. Take some binoculars.
Bobby, nothing major has happened to the cruise. If you didn't catch it at the beginning, we had to transfer ships. We're leaving out of Seattle now 2 days earlier. Basically, they were going to put the ship, the Solstice, into dry dock to do some refurbishments. And when it came out of dry dock, it was not going to have a sewing space for us anymore. We would have to sew in the hallways.
So at the bar.
Right, exactly. Just put all the sewing machines on the bar. So it was out of our control, but they did grandfather us onto the Celebrity Edge, which now ports out of Seattle instead of Vancouver. It's actually a much nicer, prettier ship, so it's actually really exciting to be on this ship.
All right, there is the center, and now I've got to do the outside. I'm going to do, it's going to be, uh-oh. Oh, poop.
What'd you do?
This is supposed to be a half square triangle unit.
Oh.
That's okay, I can dog ear it. Okay, well, we're going to stop. Because I just did all that work. But I can recover by doing a stitch and flip over here and get the same effect. I could also leave that as a block or a mini quilt. That's really cute. But don't forget the pattern is on the website if you are interested. The link to it is being dropped in the chat right now. So hop over. It's a project sheet. It is not a full-on pattern, but it will give you detailed instructions for how you can make this. Yeah, that's all I got.
Come watch us on Sunday. Bye, everyone.
Well, shucks. Now I won't get to see you because I won't be going down to Seattle. That would require a passport, something I don't have yet. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Sammy. All right, friends. I'll see y'all later. See you at Road to Virginia tomorrow. See you at Ian's on Sunday. And then I'll see you back here Friday night, July 4th with Ian and Mary. Love ya. Mean it. Bye.
Bye, everyone.